Hi, fifth grade. How is everyone doing? Back again for another video. Today we are doing idioms. So we are in Unit 1, Week 2, and the vocabulary skill this week is an idiom. So, what is an idiom? Think you've heard that term before, probably in fourth grade, maybe third grade with Miss Thrower. So, an idiom is a phrase that is describing something, but it's using stuff that doesn't make any sense. What do I mean by that? Because does that really make sense? A phrase used to describe something that doesn't really make sense. Like it can't really ever happen. So, what I mean by that is like when we say, you're not doing that. That'll happen when pigs fly. Pigs are never going to fly, right? So then that's never going to happen. Like if you ask your parent for a video game and they say, when pigs fly, you can bet you're never getting a video game, right? It's raining cats and dogs. It's never going to rain cats and dogs. What does it mean? It means it's pouring. It's like those big, huge raindrops, right? That get everything soaked and drenched. And you run out to grab something, you come back and you're soaked. It's raining cats and dogs. It's a downpour, right? So I'm going to present my screen real quick. And I have a list of idioms, and we're just going to go through a couple. So here's some idioms that I have. These are some common ones. Okay. Actions speak louder than words. For instance, actions can't talk. But however, you can tell what somebody means by how they're acting rather than what they're saying. Like, for instance, somebody can say, I'm sorry. Well, it doesn't look like you're really sorry because you weren't. Your body language said more than, what you actually said. You could see that I wasn't really sorry there, but I said it anyway. Okay. The ball is in your court. That doesn't really mean that there's like a court and a basketball. I mean, that could kind of happen, right? But it means it's your turn to take the next step. So you have the ball, figuratively, or not for real. And it's up to you to decide what you're going to do next. Okay. To beat around the bush. You're not really going to go and take a bat and beat around a bush, right? You'd look ridiculous. So it means that you're not really talking about what you want to talk about. So you're not really like doing anything with the bush or the plant. You're just kind of moving around it, right? You're not grooming it or not pruning it. You're not like taking off the dead flowers that are on it. You're just kind of avoiding the actual work to be done, is what that means. Oh, here's one I like. Best thing since sliced bread. I mean, sliced bread was good, but I'm not sure it was like the best invention. I mean, there's like phones and TVs and stuff, right? So it just means it's a good idea. So you guys let's do one more. Bite off more than you can chew. How many of you have ever taken like a huge bite of something and your mouth is so full that like food starts coming out, or that like you can't hardly even chew it because there's so much food in your mouth, there's like no room to do anything else? Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happens when you do something that's too big. So you take on a task that is way too big for you. You can't do it by yourself. You actually need help doing it. Okay, so now we're going to read a real quick story. And the story is called Head in the Clouds. And there's going to be a whole bunch of idioms in this story. So I need you guys to get a piece of paper and a pencil, because we are going to be reading this story, A Head in the Clouds, which itself, the title, is also an idiom, because could your head really be in the clouds? I mean, maybe if you're on an airplane, but you're never going to be that tall that your head would be in the clouds, right? So that itself is also an idiom. Okay, everybody ready? You have your paper, your pencil? Okay, if not, pause the video and come back when you do. Okay, Head in the Clouds idiom story. And it's by the Dabbling Speechy. So I bought this on Teacher Pay Teachers. So I'm guessing that's like her name on there. Okay. Whenever you're ready, whenever you hear an idiom, put a tally mark on your paper because I'm gonna have you guys go back and find a couple at the end. So tomorrow was the school soccer tryouts. Shauna really wants to make the team. Shauna, who's been working on her soccer skills every day with her friend Jessica, who made the team last year. Everyone in her family told her she was chasing rainbows because she never played sports before. Right there. That's an idiom. Mark your paper. See what I mean? There's going to be a bunch of them. Get ready. Shauna feels like everyone is raining on her parade because she wants to try something different. As Shauna was getting ready for bed, she thought, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind tomorrow and try out for the soccer team, no matter what anyone thinks. The next day before school began, Shauna saw Jessica in the hallway and went over to talk with her. Jessica said, Hey, Shauna, are you ready for tryouts today? I got wind of some news from your brother that you were thinking about backing out of tryouts. I hope you aren't thinking of backing out. Well, even though my family thinks I have my head in the clouds. See, idiom right there. I'm going to prove them wrong and show them I can play sports, exclaimed Shauna. Jessica smiled and said, That's so awesome. Don't worry. Tryouts will be a breeze because you have been practicing and getting really good with your trapping and passing. My family thought it was strange when out of the clear blue sky, I decided to join the school band. I never really played an instrument before, but with lots of practice, I got really good at playing the clarinet. Thanks for the encouragement. You really brightened up my day because I was having doubts about trying out. See you after school, said Shauna as she headed for her first class. The next day before school, the list for students who made the team was posted outside the PE locker room. Shauna and Jessica ran over to check the list. Shauna and Jessica both screamed, We both made it, Shauna excitedly told Jessica. I'm so glad I weathered the storm. Practiced for 2 months. My hard work really paid off. I know. This season is going to be so fun, Jessica said as the two girls walked down the hall on cloud 9. Okay, so there was a bunch of idioms in that story. I hope you have a whole bunch of tally marks on your paper because there is at least one or two in every paragraph. There was a lot. So I'm just going to mention one in every paragraph. And if it's the one you have, cool. If not, that's okay too, because there's more than one. So don't feel like you're wrong because I didn't mention yours. In paragraph 1, the first one that I found was it said, everyone in her family told her she was chasing rainbows because she never played sports before. So was she literally chasing rainbows? And do you think you could really chase rainbows? No. You can't chase rainbows. They only appear when it rains. And plus, you don't know where they start or where they end, so you can't really chase rainbows. So, right. So that was an idiom itself. So it means she was doing something that was like out of the ordinary or out of the norm for her, and she probably wasn't going to do good at it because she never did it before. So that's why they told her she was chasing rainbows. Okay, next paragraph. I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. What does that mean? You can't actually throw because caution means like you're being careful, right? So you're not actually going to throw you being careful out the window to the wind. You're not. So it, again, means that she's going to throw away all her insecurities, everything she's afraid of, and she's going to do it anyway, which is, a good way to think. Okay, third paragraph. It says, I got wind of some news. How can you get wind of news? The wind's not really bringing you news. But that's kind of the same thing. Like somebody told her that she wasn't going to try out. So like her brother heard from one of his friends and they heard from one of his friends. So it's like the telephone game. Like somebody got wind of somebody saying something. So it's just, you don't really know where it came from. You just heard it. Okay. Down to where it says, Jessica smiled and said, tryouts will be a breeze. Think of a breeze, right? It's like nice, Sometimes it's calming. Sometimes it's refreshing on a hot day when there's a nice breeze blowing. So it will be easy. It'll be fun. It'll be good. It won't be too difficult. Tryouts will be breeze. They'll be easy. You'll be able to do it. No problems, right? Okay, and we're going to go the next day before school. I'm so glad we weathered the storm. So weathering the storm means you're just waiting for things to blow by, or you're waiting for the tough times to end and the good times to start happening. So you know how like it's raining and eventually it stops, right? Then the sun comes out and a rainbow comes out. So you weathered the storm. Everything's okay now. Everything, the storm's done. Everything's okay. Go out and see how much it rained. You know, everything's good. And then the last one, in the very last sentence, they walk down the hall on cloud 9. So there's not really a cloud labeled number 9. That's not how clouds work. But, you know, it means that you're feeling pretty good about yourself. You're happy. You're proud of yourself. You did a great job. So being on cloud 9 means that you're confident in yourself and happy. So I hope that helped explain idioms to everybody. There'll be a lot in this story coming up. So if you need to refer back to this video at any point, please do. And until next time, I will see you guys all later. Bye, 5th grade. Stay safe, stay healthy.